Hi everybody, so I am Jen and I am an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up, and I am going to show you another way to use our Hello Ladybug stamp set and our Hello Ladybug or Ladybug Builder punch. So for this card we're going to need a couple things. You're going to need this Hello Ladybug stamp set and the punch. Or you could not use the punch and just stamp your ladybugs. You could do that too. Maybe I'll do another video showing how to do that. You're going to need some black cardstock. This is measured at 4 by 11 and I scored it at 5.5. I am using a gold piece of vellum that I cut at 3 3/4 by 11 and scored at 5.5. And then I have a insert that's going to be too wide because I cut my card the wrong size. So actually, yeah, we're gonna have to trim that down just a smidge. All right, give me 1 second while I trim my insert. I meant to cut my black cardstock at 4 1/4, and I only cut it at 4, so I just need to take a little bit off of my insert so that it will fit. Okay, so I took a 1/4 inch off of my insert and that's better. Okay, so 4 by 11 scored at 5.5, 3.75, 3 3/4 by 11 scored at 5.5. This one is 3.75, well, yeah, 3.75 by, I think it's 5 1/4. Yeah, 3.75 by 5 1/4. Okay. So I've done a little bit of the prep ahead of time just to keep this short and sweet. I cut out or punched out my ladybugs already, and I punched out my little, I actually used a die, a square die to cut that out, and then I just need to do some stamping, and then we can assemble. This one will be pretty quick. So we're gonna do our dots on our ladybug wings first. And actually, I should show you how to do this with Make Them Bumblebees. You can actually make them bumblebees, which is kind of fun too. Maybe a different video I will show you how to do bumblebees, because I don't think I have any yellow. I don't have any yellow cardstock, and I would need yellow cardstock for that. Okay, so there is that one, and I need a little more ink than I did before, and then I do them again. Ladybugs, and then I'm going to pull that off, and I'm going to use this flower, and I'm going to stamp. I'm actually done with the black, so I'm going to put the black away. I'm using Sweet Sorbet ink for this, so I'm going to put these aside, and then I'm going to take my insert and I'm going to just put this little flower, and I don't know if you can see that, it's hard for me to see where the camera's pointing. So I'm just going to ink this with some Sweet Sorbet, and I'm going to punch it down here, or stamp it down here in the corner, just to give my insert a little pizzazz. And that gives you still plenty of room to write your sentiments, little notes, whatever you want to do. If you wanted to stamp a sentiment in here, you could definitely stamp a sentiment. And then I'm going to set this guy aside for now, and I'm going to take my little square, which is 1.5 by 1.5, and I'm going to put the may your greatest wish come true in Sweet Sorbet. Ink that up nice and well, and we're just going to center that right on there. Don't rock your stamp, just press down, and you've got a perfect little stamp. Okay, so we are done with the ink. So I'm gonna put that away. Now we can assemble. So we're gonna set this guy aside. And I think I found this one on Pinterest too. I spend a lot of time on Pinterest. Pinterest is a great place to get ideas for stamp sets. If you're new to the stamp set, or if you're new to card making and you need ideas, I like to do multiple videos showing multiple cards with the same set. That way you can kind of see how you can use the different cards, the different stamp sets, and how, you know, depending on the colors that you choose or the particular placement that you choose. No two cards are, I mean, I guess you could make two cards that are exactly alike, but the great thing is you don't have to, but the other great thing is that all of this Stampin' Up stuff coordinates. So you have your Sweet Sorbet paper, which goes with your Sweet Sorbet ink. And then you have your, I think these are Sweet Sorbet. If I could get them out of here. Is this a Sweet Sorbet? I don't know. Yes. Then you have your Stampin' Blends, which you can color with, which is kind of awesome. I haven't used these yet though. These are alcohol inks. So they're pretty awesome to use. So everything kind of comes together, and like you have all of the in colors, which all kind of go together. So they really make it very, very easy to make something. I don't remember. Okay, so I'm just gonna glue my insert in first. Make sure that's dry. Yep. Okay. I don't recommend touching your stamp if you're not sure it's dry. Then you'll just end up smearing it and having ink all over your fingers, which I've done a lot of cards tonight, so while I'm making videos, and I've got ink all over my fingers, so don't mind my inky fingers. Okay, so because as I've said before, I can make a mess from the simplest things. Okay, so there's my insert, and then we're going to take our vellum, and our card is going to go in here like this. Now, you could do one of two things. You can glue your vellum to keep it in place, or the sample that I saw, video that I watched, whatever it was, they used a piece of string and they tied a bow at the top of the ribbon, or I'm sorry, at the top of the vellum, like inside the card, so it kind of held it in place. I tried that and it didn't work for me, so I am actually just going to put a little bit, not a lot, because like the glue trail kind of shows up on the vellum, so you don't want to use like too much glue. Yeah, see, I mean, it'll dry and then it won't be so obvious, but and then to the other side, maybe if I had done it on the paper instead of on the vellum, I don't know if that'll matter. Yeah, it's still gonna, I think it'll dry and it'll be fine. I'll show you my example one, the first one that I did. You can see it actually, on the first one, it kind of looks like I did it on purpose. This one does not so much though. And let's see, where's my example? So we have a ladybug and a ladybug, and then our sentiment. So we're going to use dimensionals for this, if I can find my dimensionals. Okay, I'm going to use dimensionals. If you wanted to, you could add a third ladybug to this too. Whatever you want to do. This is your card. You can do whatever your heart desires. just make examples and hope that it gives you some ideas on how to use things. Because I know some of these stamp sets are really, really cute, and they make really, 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 really cute cards and really, really pretty cards. But it can be kind of overwhelming at first, trying to like figure out what to do with them, because there's so many pieces to each stamp set, and some of them, if you buy the bundles, then they come with the dies, and if you buy the suites, then they come with the paper and the stamp set, and sometimes they include the dies, and then sometimes you get the little embellishments, whether it's ribbon or gems or what have you. And some of the suites come with multiple stamp sets and multiple dies, and it can be really overwhelming at first to, you know, get started. But once you get started, and honestly, I look at Pinterest a lot because I feel like I'm not always the most creative person. Like, I can look at something and I can, you know, make it my own, but sometimes I find it hard, even I find it hard to come up with ideas. And I consider myself a pretty, like, crafty person. So anyway, okay, so this one's done. That was quick and easy, right? So there's that. Then there's the inside, and then I will show you the example that I did. The first one that I did, I used this silver, like, foily paper, and you can kind of, I don't know if you look closely, it kind of looks like the glue line kind of made the path of that the ladybugs were following in their flying, which was not intentional, but that's just how it ended up working out. And I did the same thing on the inside for this one. This one is just a little, like I said, I meant to cut the black at 4 1/4, so this one's a little wider. That's the only difference, and the gold instead of the silver instead of the gold. But it still has the white insert with the stamp. So, as I said, I'll be curious to see how this looks when it dries, because right now that's really standing out and I don't like it. But vellum, yeah, vellum's tough, but I like the look of the vellum. I'm just not sure how to do it so that the glue doesn't leave like the streaks like it did. Maybe use paper or tape instead, but I don't know. We'll have to play around with it. Anyway, I'm rambling. So there is yet another example, and like I said, you can actually punch out a black body and a yellow yellow wings and make yourself a little bumblebee instead of a ladybug. I will have to wait until I get some yellow paper for that, and then I will show you guys that one too. Okay, anyway, so there's those two with the vellum or slash foil paper, which is this one was just a silver foil paper. And that is it for this. So like I said, lots of ways to make different cards with this ladybug stamp or stamp set. All right, so that is it for now. I will talk to you soon.